something else I wanted to get to with you guys before I brought in TJ Moe. LeBron James last night, historic moment. Scap. I know you know where you were at last night. He became the oldest player with a triple double. I found this tweet. I think it was from Apex Jones. Just trashing. Yeah, it was from Apex Jones. My memory's great. The king of stat hunting, stat padding, and smoke ducking, LeBron James. LeBron, you can't use his full name. The face of the NBA's load management black eye shamelessly load managed the 2-seed Spurs. He skipped the game with Wembanyama and the Spurs, and then stays in a 20-point blowout over the 12-seed Mavericks to chase a triple-double. He stole a rebound that clearly belonged to Jackson Hayes to become the oldest player to record a triple-double. This single play defines his career, holy cow, career, using Hayes' box out to steal the rebound. Hayes worked for and pad his numbers to reach another milestone, fraudulently cheating the game and his teammates for his own self-aggrandizement. 23 years, a fraud. Scap, did you ghostwrite that?
I was going to say Apex Jones sounds like he hates LeBron more than I do. So shout out Apex. Look, I'll say this about LeBron and that. Let me expand upon that tweet real quick or whatever, that posting on X. Look at the stats. Look at this highlight you're showing. Shout out to your production team. That rebound came with 2 minutes and 8 seconds left in the fourth quarter of a 20-point blowout against a team not even in the play-in range right now, who, by the way, didn't even have Cooper Flag last night. Okay, so LeBron, and that was his, by the way, 35th minute played of that game. Do you know what that constituted, guys? The most minutes of anyone in that entire game on either team. There were 24 other guys that logged a minute in that game, and LeBron played more than all of them to chase down that 10th rebound, which he did again. Obviously, snag it right off of his center right there, Jackson Hayes. And then, of course, he's running down the court pointing, and the crowd is cheering. It is a disgusting moment. We seriously, the NBA needs to lose this guy. They need to shed the weight of this fraud so they can fully start healing this product. Just an incredible scene. Guys, I guess whoever knows, and whoever doesn't. Like the LeBron, the blind apologists, the bootlickers and jock sniffers out there will be groveling at the feet of the fraud king all day today over this sham triple-double. It's just laughable.
Steve, it reminded me a lot of Kobe Bryant's 60-point night to end his career. Your thoughts?
It is. Look, as the resident Laker fan in recess, Whitlock, that's a point taken that I can't completely disagree with. When it comes to hating LeBron James, Scap and Apex, they are the Joe DiMaggio and Ted Williams of that. They battle. It's two of the all-time greats. I've gotten to see their work up close. It's a great honor. But yeah, in the immortal words, I think it was Diana Ross, as a Laker fan in recess, set me free, why don't you, Bron? My God, there's nothing. This is just one man's ego, one woman's incompetence that is complete. I'm just telling you, Jason, you have not lived in LA for at least, 6 years now?
5.
5. I have never seen the passion and the interest for the Lakers in our community be this muted. It's almost like they do not exist. You know what people are really looking forward to in LA as sports fans, believe it or not? Spring training. This is now clearly a Dodger town, and it's not even close.
Yeah, LeBron, it just pulls into focus. He turned down Wembanyama and playing in that game so he could be rested up to chase this triple-double against the Dallas Mavericks. It's not a good look for LeBron. He is not.
Yeah. Jason, real quick, let me jump back in here because
Please.
your point, your and Steve's point on Kobe, is a valid point for that last game, that last season maybe. Look, this guy ruptured his Achilles, Kobe. He played in 6 games and 35 games in the 2 seasons the fall. Look, he was 37 years old. He obviously knew he was washed. He couldn't do it anymore physically. He couldn't be the player he wanted to be. So he made that last year his retirement tour year where he did in the last game go out and just try to score as many points as he could with a lousy team that was going nowhere. LeBron James is 41 years old. still stuck around to stat pad primarily and only, but he has at least championship pieces. Luka Doncic is a top 3 player in the NBA right now. Austin Reeves, if he didn't miss as many games as he did, he would have been an easy all-star selection in my estimation this season. This team isn't just some middling, floundering team. They have championship aspirations, and he still is shamelessly stat padding and just worried about his own individual accolades right now. It's not an apples-to-apples comp.
And Scap, to your point, I will agree with this. Kobe is no worse than the second most beloved Laker. It's either him or Magic, right? And no disrespect to Kareem, James Worthy, Shaquille, anyone else. But Jason, on that night, if you watch the last 5 minutes, there was an electricity in that arena as Kobe started accumulating points because we were all for it. Now, were guys like me ready to move on? Yes. But Kobe was our guy, so we at least enjoyed that 61, whatever that was. You look at what's going on there. People are just like, okay, let's beat traffic. It's the emotion of the Laker fan comparing those two things. There's a stark difference.
Steve, I can cut Scap a little bit of a break because I haven't known Scap as long as I've known you. But I'm shocked that I was able to trigger you and Scap. I knew Scap would happen, but we were having a nice discussion bashing LeBron James, and then both of you put your Kobe capes on and said, "Hold on, Whitlock, you've gone too far."
Wait a minute.
Could we just bash LeBron?
I am the rarity. I am the Laker fan that is not part of the Kobe clan or the cult of Kobe, as I like to say it. I'm not one of those Laker fans who believes he's the greatest Laker of all time. It's Irvin Magic Johnson. I get it. But I can be realistic. Like CNN, I am fair and balanced. That's what I bring to the table here.
Scap, I'm not going to let you, because it's getting a little creepy. I think you may have something up with Vanessa. I'm going to let you go. Bomani Jones had something interesting to say about tanking in the NBA. And let's start with Bomani's suggestion on how to fix tanking in the NBA.
People cannot imagine a world without a draft when it's so simple, right? Like there are ways that you could come up with things like I say, if you want to try to make it about competitive redistribution, then give people the salary allotments, and then like the worst team gets more or whatever it is, and then go for it. We could call it National Signing Day, and everybody announces where they're going, and we figure it out. Like it's a sellable proposition. Soccer seems to do just fine. In these,
Bomani, the product is right there. Like, are people really out on college football and college basketball because there's no draft? No, they don't care.
Right,
they love it. The fact that there's no draft.
Sounds good, but I'm not sure if it has. I don't know if I like this idea. Steve Kim, your thoughts?
He's not the first one to suggest this particular measure. I mean, guys, people have been talking about the unfairness of the draft for years. Why are athletes at this level in those particular sports the only ones to go into a workforce or a workplace where they're forced or mandated to go somewhere? Everyone else, Jace, when you graduated from Ball State, you were free to work for any paper. I'm sure you didn't get the Washington Post and the New York Times fighting for you, but you were able to go to the paper of your choice that wanted to hire you, right? It wasn't like the LA Times.
I went to the only newspaper willing to hire me for $5 an hour.
You were a one-star writer. Let's not make you into a parade All-American here. But it's not like the LA Times drafted you into the newsroom. I get that. But to the last point that they made, like people aren't out on college football. Well, yeah, those guys actually try. All right? Those games actually matter, which is still a bigger issue. But it's not the worst idea. But I do wonder, to be the cynic that I am, I know that you want to go to a place where you have an opportunity to play, right? You don't want to be Jermaine O'Neal in Portland just languishing, or Zach Randolph. That was another case, right? But I think there's such a mindset now of just getting the money. I don't even think these guys care to play. Think about it. In a league where load management is a thing, even if you're going to be the fourth or fifth forward on a team, as long as you get enough money and you're thinking, wait, and they're not going to even expect me to play 40 minutes, for them, it's a win-win.
Scap, what do you think here?
I think it's an issue with competitive balance, quite frankly. And really, I'm looking at the small market teams, which the NBA has been trying to protect for years, and they need to protect. Like, who's going to want to go if they have the opportunity to go to LA or Miami, and those teams can pay them a lot of money? Well, they're not going to pick Charlotte or Cleveland or San Antonio.
OKC.
Right. And look at some of the teams I just mentioned in San Antonio and Oklahoma City. They're the two best teams, arguably, in the entire NBA. Charlotte, they've won 10 out of their last 11 games. They're a young, elite, up-and-coming team in the Eastern Conference. None of those things would be able to be built if not through the draft. Those front offices have to do things better. They have to scout better. They have to build through the draft and manufacture these teams that way. They don't have the capacity to go out and lure guys with money in free agency. So now what we're saying is, let's eradicate that small minor advantage that these small market teams might have and just give even more, ability of the big market powerhouses to go out and stack their rosters with teams that you simply can't compete with. We finally have gotten out of the super team era that was constructed by LeBron James, Kevin Durant, Steph Curry. Now we're finally getting into a little bit more parity and balance. And now Bomani Jones and Steve Kim come along and they want to just do away with it. Come on, Steve, you're better.
Well, wait a minute. I didn't say I completely agreed. I believe that there's a pragmatic reality to this. You're right. You want to have competitive balance. And I see what's going on in baseball where the Dodgers have kind of gamed the system and they're putting together an all-star team at every single level. And there's a lot of complaining about what's going on there. But if this thing is to be implemented in the way Bomani Jones says, now you're going to have to say, all right, how is the cap constructed? Is it a hard cap? Can you game the system? Can you do deferred money? Now, if you had a hard cap where it was just this amount, you can't do deferred payments, you can't play any of this bookkeeping, yeah, it can work. But at the same time, here's the issue. Once these players hit their second contract and they're out on the free market, I believe a lot of these agents and players will still gravitate towards the major markets like LA, New York, Chicago, etc.
There's a couple things here that, one, I growing up an Indiana Pacer fan, this would be not an advantage to Indiana and the Indianapolis Pacers, the Indiana Pacers, my team. I think what I like about this and why I wanted to talk about it is more so from Nick Wright suggesting the black-white all-star game to these guys saying, hey, here's an idea, let's eliminate the draft. What this all is an indication of is that sports are in chaos. Everybody is coming out of the closet and realizing, like, hey, man, we need to make some major adjustments here because these things aren't working. Everybody is acknowledging the product isn't what it used to be, and we need to start exploring suggestions. And I actually think that's a good thing. The change is going, from the Pro Football Hall of Fame to things are being discussed about how can we make things better because things have gotten so bad.